LSU travels to Ole Miss this weekend in the newest installment of what is one of the more under the radar but best rivalries we have in the SEC. This line opened up with LSU favored by 1.5. It has now crossed the bridge. Ole Miss is favored by 1.5. And all the storylines of Kivin's daughter and Woodwick's aside, let's get into the X's and O's of this game. Trinidad Chambliss for Ole Miss at quarterback has looked awesome. In that last game against Tulane, he had 307 yards in the air and 112 on the ground, 353 through the air and 62 on the ground versus Arkansas. The Rebels offense is absolutely on fire. They have a great success rate overall, great passing explosives, and great points per opportunity. Now, LSU's run game on their offensive side of the ball is bad. Their passing game seems like it's coming along. The run game is really bad. Ole Miss's run defense is arguably worse. So what you have here is a very stoppable force meeting one of the most movable objects of all time between LSU's run game and Ole Miss's rush defense. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. But like I said, LSU's passing offense seemed to kind of hit a gear last week against Southeast Louisiana. I get it, but they look bad against Louisiana Tech, so it seems like them taking a step there is pretty good. This is by far the biggest test for Ole Miss on offense this year by a lot. And what I'm looking at mainly is last year when Ole Miss went to Death Valley. Now, it is important to note that this is at Death Valley versus at home, but with Jackson Dart, Trey Harris, guys like that on their offense, they scored 26. And LSU's defense this year is better than it was last year. Now, you're at home, but it's Trinidad Chambliss at receiver, Harrison Wallace at receiver. Do we really think that Dart and Harris is surpassed by Chambliss and Wallace? Because I'm not sure that it is. I think Ole Miss's offensive talent is worse, and LSU's defensive talent is better. Now, obviously, the environment will dictate that, but I don't know if Ole Miss is really able to score a whole lot in this game because of how good the Tigers' defense is. I think that LSU's passing game matches up very, very well against Ole Miss, and for that reason, I've got LSU by a score of about 35-28. This should be a very fun game, but I just think that LSU's offense, at the end of the day, gets one more explosive, one more touchdown, and is able to win a big game on the road.